Hello everyone and welcome to the finale of the Volkswagen Scirocco League here with NXTGEN Racing. Hope everyone's doing okay. See how the race goes tonight. The season finale, of course, Lobby 1 and Lobby 2 merged together for tonight's race for what will be the final time of the Sciroccos at this wonderful fictional Italian circuit. Evening to P. Gibb. Thanks, buddy. I'm doing okay. Comment from D. Whitehouse there as well, saying hello. Hello to you too, dear Dave. Dear Dave. Going to be fascinating to see how the drivers get on around this Lago Maggiore East circuit. Obviously, we're not going to the GP loop in the Sciroccos, as opposed to their Megane counterparts. But nevertheless, the drivers will have a lot to contend with, including that level amount of understeer from the Sciroccos. As Rally Matt chucks the car in to the cut. Well, he's chucking it a few times into the car. This is Rally Matt there. Now, obviously, with the merger of Lobby 1 and Lobby 2, when's qualifying stop? Now, Dave, actually, I believe. Would be the right answer to that. So I believe Jordan will... There we go. So he's doing an old school qualifying, I believe, as Jordan. So the driver's going out on circuits. It's Seamus who's first out. And obviously we have a championship battle to go. We have our two champions of Lobby 1 and Lobby 2. That is, of course, NXTGEN Heracram and Rally Matt 85 respectively. But what about in the fight for second and third in those respective championships? Well, Bruce Lee Hardin in Lobby 1 is second on 123 points, with Timmy DJG 94 third on 121. However, with the dropped scores, Timmy has a 6-point advantage on Bruce Lee Hardin. Apologies, I've just saw Seamus barrel through turn number 5. P. Gibb has a very much outside chance of scoring third or second in the championship. It would require a lot of luck to get there. He's fourth in the championship. Fifth is JPH 99 on 106. Sixth is D10 Piper on 88. D10 Pipe, rather. D Whitehouse 7 is on 82. Ruddo 24 is on 55. And Seamus is 10th on 41. Skipped over 9th because they're not racing in the round tonight. So we've got 13 drivers. There's a couple missing. So I reckon there is time and space. Good to have D Whitehouse back in. Of course, it's been a while since we've seen him in the Sciroccos. Over in Lobby 2, there's a bit of a fight for second in the championship. Snav is second on 134. Danzo is third on 129. But the gap is a little bit closer than that. Rally Matt obviously having already won the championship on 179 points, but with the drop scores, Snav would end up 122 points and Danzo on 118. 4 points separate those two. It's going to be fascinating to see how they get on around this circuit. 4th place is Suburtus on 117. He needs a lot of luck to try and catch up to the 2 in front of him, so he's very much an outside contender. 5th is Duds, CF14 on 77. Bigsy is in 6th place on, I believe that would be, actually the table is wrong here, ladies and gentlemen. Duds is actually 6th on 77. Bigsy is 5th on 63 points. 1805 is 8th on 58. Gino Demmer, who's in the championship finale tonight, we have to go past a couple of drivers. He's 11th there, he's on 31. And Dominator 3 is rounding out the championship on 10 points in 14th. Those are all the drivers though that are in for tonight. Danzo has said screen has froze. Should still be able to join in. Don't think there'll be any concerns on that. But still, 3 minutes into the session now. Bruce Lee Harding leading the away on the original opening laps. 1 minute 22.1. He's got a 10th gap effectively to P. Gibb. Hirakram in 3rd after the first set of runs. Knowing that he's got the championship though, he'll not be too fussed, I imagine, but don't expect him to be way down the grid. Really good effort. Ooh, D. Whitehouse going sideways, coming out of turn 5. Is he going to hit the wall? He does a little bit. Seamus in 4th after the opening runs. Good effort from the Lobby 2 driver, ahead of Rally Matt, which is very impressive. D10 Piper's 6th. Lobby 1, of course. JPH 99, Lobby 1. He's 7th, 1805. In 8th place, Gino Dammer 9th. D. Whitehouse, a Lobby 1 driver. Timmy yet to set a time. And Danzo is also back in, obviously, with that relatively new Newcastle livery. And Dominator has rejoined the room. So hopefully we'll see how that get on. Dominator's rejoined by his Rally Matt now, who's gone P1 provisionally with 121.7. And there goes Hirakram, deciding he wants to get involved. Putting himself right at the front of the sharp end. Timmy in 2nd place, 1,000th of a second ahead of Rally Matt. Good effort from Rally Matt to be right up there for Lobby 2. There's Bruce in 4th. P. Gibb 92 in 5th. So Seamus is in 6th currently. Snav 7th. Improving on this lap, so he'll get within a second of the drivers in front of him. Could move him up past P. Gibb even, so wait and see what the Bessie Swallocks driver does. There's Jordan in 8th. And a little bit wide out of turn 2. There's Gino. He's in 9th at the moment. D10 10th. Quite literally D10. 1805 in the Frugal Gaming car. He's 11th. D. Whitehouse obviously represent Club 100 and the Lawnmower Society with that exit. Got to be careful. There's Dave. Doesn't want to go too far over the curb. There's Danzo 13th. And Dominator 3 has a brand new livery. Next Gen Racing. A nice faded colour. It's got Joker on the side. So Dominator 3, a nice livery to put out there. And a little roundel on the rear right bumper. You might be able to make it out if I cut forward. There you go, you can see the Union flag on the bottom right hand side there. Oh, Dominator's got that all wrong coming out of turn number 12, which is also the final corner. But Hirakram still leads the way. Mr. Tesco, he leads currently. It's Timmy in 2nd. Timmy on a controller, ladies and gentlemen, for those that are unaware, as we all were until very recently. Just having a look at the comments in the chats. 1805 saying good evening. Jordan saying evening Jack, how are you? I'm doing well, thanks. Last round of the season, always a level of excitement and a little tinge of sadness because it's the final round. Timmy's gone into the pits, so not good sign for Timmy so far. Rally Matt up to 2nd with his most recent effort. He's got a nice slipstream from P. Gibb. Let's ride on board with Rally Matt for a lap of the Lago Maggiore East. Comes towards the lines, up into turn 1. Fifth gear on the brakes. Down into third in the Scirocco's lovely apex for Rally Matt. Then down into second for turn 2. Cuts as much of the curb as you possibly can. Lets the car run as far to the white line as possible. Up into fourth gear for turn 3. Feathering the throttle, trying to get the line right for turn 4. Into third gear. Lovely positioning of the car in this opening sequence for Rally Matt. It's a very difficult set of corners to get right in a front wheel drive car. Then Matt up through the gears into fifth, up to about 40 miles an hour. Down the brakes into fourth, into third. Nice progressive downshift from Rally Matt. Back up to fourth gear, all the way up to fifth, I presume, before we get into turn number 7. She does nicely. Fourth gear, a flick left, then a flick right. Completely flat and flat again. All the way through. He's going to run touch over the grass, which he does. He's a 100th of a second down on his best time. Fifth gear right to limit. Should go up to maybe up to 6th. No, up to 140 again. Down into third gear. Second blips the throttle. Then up to third. And then fourth out of the final corner. He's had a nice little tow from Gibb all the way through this lap. So let's see what his lap time ends up being. Doesn't improve as Rally Matt. He's actually dropped from 2nd to 5th. And the man who's replaced him in 2nd place, Slow Seamus, with an absolutely phenomenal lap. The Lobby 2 driver has put in an excellent effort. Really good performance from him. Very impressive. Bruce Lee's back in 3rd. And there's Timmy in 4th. Matt obviously been displaced down in 5th. There's P. Gibb. I should say rather that Slow Seamus is in Lobby 1. Just trying to recall the last time when Slow Seamus was up in the higher echelons of the front row. I can't recall when he was on front row this season. I don't think he has. What a performance from the Irish driver then. Currently in 2nd. Just having a quick scan through the cars. Jordan's ended his run. We are coming into the last knock-ins now. 30 seconds left to qualifying. Jordan right behind his family member in terms of snav. Only 300ths of a second separating the two lobbies, those two. D. Whitehouse is in 10th. Obviously coming back from a couple of races out. But nice to have him in for the finale. And there's Gino in 11th. D. Whitehouse actually up in 10th now, so a couple of complications with the lobby there. It's because Rat's returned to the pits, that's why. Dominator Freeze in 12th and then Danzo in 13th. So current lap, that's it. Jordan has called it. Hirakram has made his bed at turn 1. Is he going to get hit by the car coming through the corner? No, he isn't. Because they were on a lap still. Good for them. So what can everyone else do? Timmy's closed the gap. He's up to 2nd is Timmy. Only a 10th and a half off Hirakram. See what he does as he comes past the first sector beam. He's 3 tenths down. That's going to be quite difficult to pull back, and sure enough, Timmy has had enough on that one. Jordan telling everyone to return to pits as Timmy goes into it. Gibbs still on a lap in that red and blue striking Scirocco livery he runs, a 92. He's set a very good for 2nd sector here. 3 tenths up is P. Gibb. All the cars coming towards the line. D. Whitehouse with a late improvement up in 5th. Wonderful effort from him after so many rounds out. No, Gibbs run wide out of the final corner. I fear that might have just sapped his momentum. What about Bruce in front of him? He doesn't improve, and sure enough, Gibb loses all the momentum he had. Bit of a car park going into that corner, and I believe everyone has seen the checkered flag now, apart from Gino Demmer. That's an improvement, and he does. He stays 11th, but he closes the gap down. So, good effort from him. Everyone else doing some slides. Final race of the season. They can get away with it. And Jordan commencing the race. So, a nice mixture of Lobby 1 and Lobby 2, but Lobby 1 definitely has the upper hold. Top 5 Lobby 1 drivers, in fact the top 8 is only Rally Matt, who's in Lobby 2. So let's see how the drivers go on for the final time at Lago Maggiore. It's Mr. Tesco on the right hand side, the championship winner. He's on the right. Timmy in that green car in the left-hand side on the front row. Watch out for Seamus and P. Gibb, both putting in good efforts themselves. 20 minutes on the right-hand side. Here come the numbers for the final time. And the race is live from Lago Maggiore. Looks like a relatively decent start from the field. D10 Piper's had a good start as they come towards turn 1. Heracram's going to get there ahead of Timmy. He leads the way. Slow Seamus is third. He's side by side with P. Gibbs, who's had a good start. Gino Demmer and that looked like Snav going wide through turn 1. Nice and clean though from everyone, which is really good to see. Good positive news for this final race. Bruce Lee trying to go around the outside of Slow Seamus into turn 4. Side by side they lean on one another and through goes Bruce Lee, so good move. D Whitehouse has also got past Seamus as they approach turn number 5. D Whitehouse, the Club 100 driver, going to be on the inside on the brakes for the corner. Little bit of contact between the two and Seamus has been forced wide. He's going to drop right down, is Seamus. He started third. Now at the moment looks like he's going to lose a position potentially to Rally Matt. Side by side they lean on one another again. Seamus is being bullied out of the way. Rally Matt goes right over the edge of the curve. Jordan trying to get involved now. Here comes Timmy. Timmy going for a move up the inside of Heracram. At the end of the first lap, they're side by side. We're going to have to exit, unfortunately. Get the camera angles for everyone. Jordan's got... well, he's gone sideways is what has happened there. But Timmy all over the back of Heracram. He was alongside his champion for season 19 of Heracram, but he couldn't get through in the end. Gibb now right in the mix of all of this. This is Bruce. D Whitehouse there too. D10 Piper in 6th place, so good effort from him to be in 6th. And then there's a little bit of a gap back to Rally Matt. Slow Seamus down in 8th. He's lost so much time as Slow Seamus. Unfortunately, dropped from 3rd to 8th, and Jordan trying to pile on that misery in the JPH, obviously being sponsored by the Boyd Transport team. Here comes JPH up the inside. He has a look. Still on the inside coming out of turn 5 is Jordan. Going to be on the outside as they come into turn number 6 though. It's going to be very difficult to pull this off. Seamus just squeezes Jordan, but Jordan not giving up at all. Absolutely in the fight. As far over the curve as they want to go, but they stay together for the time being. Jordan right in a slipstream, but I don't think he's going to be close enough for a lunge. No, surely not. He's not. Meanwhile, in the fight for Lobby 2, looks relatively straightforward at the moment. Dominator 3. Ooh, Danzo having to brake there. Oh, he's got his line wrong out of the final corner. This is going to give Dominator 3 a chance. Danzo can't close the door on him. Tries to get back into the slipstream, did Danzo, but didn't quite work. He's on the inside, trying to defend from Dominator, and just keeps his position for the time being. Although I say that, Dominator 3 looks towards the inside. Nice switchback, and through he goes, past Danzo, with a little bit of a nudge, but no harm done. Heracramp still leads from Timmy though. Bruce Lee has got past P. Gibb. They're in the fight for 3rd. D Whitehouse on his return to the Scirocco is having a good run. Not far away from the podium is D Whitehouse. Gibb really putting the pressure on Bruce Lee. Will ride on board with D Whitehouse. D10 Piper right behind in the mix of all this. Bruce Lee just holding the fort for now. And D Whitehouse just picks up a little penalty there. Should be able to clear it around the circuit. D10 Piper having a really competitive run today. He's improved all season long as D10. Really impressive. Oh, little nudge. And D10 Piper taking advantage of the ghosting from D Whitehouse. They're side by side, and D10 swings over to get the slipstream. He's going to be on the inside for turn number 1. No, he's not. He's going to clear D Whitehouse. So up to 5th goes D10 Piper, and Rally Matt sets the fastest lap of the race. Wonderful effort. Really good effort from Rally Matt. That's very impressive lap time. And a little wide out of turn 2 though. JPH has got away from Slow Seamus now, so Seamus, after his great qualifying, unfortunately down in 9th. 18.05, there he is in 10th. Another solid showing so far from 1805, that frugal gaming car. This Snav is being tracked and shadowed by Gino Dama. Snav doing enough of a job so far in terms of lobby 2. Don't forget the championship fight for third, or rather second place there in lobby 2. Very close between him and Danzo, but he's doing enough for that second place. Danzo not close enough, unfortunately, to get an impact. Now, back at the front, Hirokram's still leading from Timmy. The gap about half a second. Then there's 2 seconds back to Bruce Lee Harding. Their fight for lobby 1 in terms of the championship standings. Well, Timmy currently on his way to second in the championship. Bruce needs to find 2 seconds and needs to get his car between himself and Timmy to stand any chance of getting that second place in the championship. Gibbs still got an outside chance, but he's being hassled and harried by D Whitehouse. He's trying to go around the outside at turn 3. He's going to be on the inside for turn 4. That's a good move. That's a very good move from D Whitehouse, but Gibb on his inside gets a good run out of the corner. D10 Piper just watching this at the moment. You see Gibb on the inside. He's going to brake a little bit later. The 2 cars very close through turn 5 and through turn 6, and sure enough Gibb gets the place back. So good racing between the 2. Really good side-by-side action. Gibb didn't quite get the best of lines through turn 7. It's going to allow D Whitehouse a run coming through turn 8, 9 and 10, and Gibbs, he's just... D Whitehouse just caught Gibb at the wrong time there, unfortunately. Couldn't do anything about it. He's going to try and brake later than him. That's a fantastic move from D Whitehouse. What a brilliant move. Excellently done. The Club 100 driver up to 4th with a late braking manoeuvre around the outside of turn number 12. What a brilliant overtake that was. Really pleasing to see D Whitehouse not lost his fight in the time that he's been out. He's still in 4th. Gibb in 5th. D10 6th. There's Rally Matt in 7th. Jordan has come and joined into the fun, and he's brought Seamus with him. So these guys fighting so hard now. There's a 6-car train for 4th position. And just keeping an eye on the gap between Timmy and Hirokram up the field. They're still very close, but nothing happening. Certainly not as close as these 6 at the moment on circuit. Oh, that's late from D10 Piper. He's gone right to the inside, but he just hasn't got the momentum to carry the car through and past P. Gibb, and he loses the momentum to Rally Matt, who's going to be on the inside now as he come into turn 7, and through goes Rally Matt. Pretty straightforward. They're going to compromise one another in all of this. Where's Jordan? Jordan gets a decent run. He's arguably a little bit too close to take any advantage of the slipstream, because he'll get compromised, have to back out of it a little. Great racing though between everyone. D10's up the inside again. He can't quite force the door open. Gibb is putting all of his might and effort onto the back of D Whitehouse. These two having a really good scrap for 4th place. New personal best from Gibb. He's on the outside for turn 1, and D Whitehouse just rolls the car across. Defends that 4th position. Rally Matt 6th, D10 Piper, Jordan and Seamus very, very close. Jordan looking at the inside. He kind of got forced there because of Seamus' little contact. It's going to be on the outside for turn 4. He's closed the door. Has D10. Jordan obviously having to cover from Seamus. Great fighting between these drivers at the moment. Jordan's got it inside. Can he brake a little bit later? He can. D10's going to have the momentum coming out of turn 5, but he's left a bit too much room as D10, and I think Jordan has a right to brake a little bit later, but he doesn't, and D10 goes through, and Scirocco of slow Seamus is going to go through as well, and Jordan might get a penalty just because he was trying to avoid contact, unfortunately for him, and this group has split from a 6 to a 3. 2 groups of 3 as Rally Matt now trying to go through the middle of D Whitehouse and Gibb. Oh, D Whitehouse has got that all wrong. On the brakes, off the circuit, into the wall, and the 2 groups of 3 has just become a group of 4 and a group of 2. The fighting's absolutely fantastic. D Whitehouse just got it all wrong on the brakes. Half the session to go. It's 3 wide as they come towards turn 1 now. D Whitehouse brakes later. He's in the middle of all this. Seamus is trying to go around the outside of the pit. D10 now takes that position. He's up to 6th. Seamus and D10 Piper are very close. D Whitehouse as well. He's on the inside still as D Whitehouse. He's trying to look back for a move at the inside. Seamus runs wide. He just about keeps it on the circuit. And he's, after all that, stays in 8th place, and he's got Jordan harassing him for his troubles. A wonderful fight now for 6th place. Little bit of contact between the drivers, but no harm done, no harm, no foul. P. Gibb still defending from Rally Matt in their fight for 4th, but these drivers are absolutely squabbling. D Whitehouse very close to the front left quarter of Seamus's wheel there. I thought there was going to be contact. It would spat D Whitehouse into the wall. Look how wide D10 Piper and D Whitehouse go through turn number 10. Unbelievable. And D Whitehouse has played it really well. He's going to be on the inside as they come into the hairpin for the 8th time of asking. Through goes D Whitehouse. D10 Piper's up to down to 7th, but he's got a really good switchback. Which side does Jordan pick? He's going to go for the inside. He's still got to try and clear that penalty. You've still got Slow Seamus trying to get involved in the action as well. D10 Piper trying to go around the outside of D Whitehouse. Doesn't happen. Seamus stuck behind Jordan. So Jordan gets a position back thanks to that. Oh, that's a horrible cut from Slow Seamus. Rightfully so. Jordan shut the door on him. No penalty for Seamus, despite track limits being switched on. Incredible, really, when you think about it. Track limits around Lago Maggiore East, not quite what you'd expect them to be, but these 4 having a wonderful fight over what is 6th place. And these are all Lobby 1 drivers, don't forget. As you can see, D10 Piper looking at a sort of attack and defence against D Whitehouse and Jordan. Good run from Jordan out of the corner. In fact, he's going to be on the inside. He's going to have a little bit of slipstream. D Whitehouse providing that. Ooh, D10 squeezes on the inside. Jordan's still there. Seamus is still here as well. Kutsu on board with Seamus. Don't know if it's a touch of lag going on. They're all over. Look how close the 3 cars are together. It's just allowing D Whitehouse to just get away a little bit up the road. Seamus brakes so much later than everyone else. It's going to be very difficult to go around the outside. Sure enough, he doesn't. Jordan doesn't quite have the slipstream of Dave. Now Dave pulls out the way, but D10 just slots himself in between the two as P. Gibb looks a little bit further up the field at Bruce Lee, or rather at Rally Matt, who's got past him now for that 4th place. And Seamus is up the inside of Jordan. There's so much going on. Oh, Jordan's been forced off the circuit. Jordan won't be happy about that. And fair sportsmanship from Seamus. He knew he'd done wrong, just backed out of it and lets Jordan retake his position. Good clean racing from the next gen drivers, of course. 1805's not too far behind as well, has to be noted. A really good showing from the frugal gaming driver. He's doing really well so far, and bear in mind 1805 hasn't had the easiest of seasons in Lobby 2, but he's putting a good showing, and he's second at the moment in Lobby 2. He's got in front of Snav, who's just still being shadowed by Gino Demo as we cut away from that wonderful fight for 6th. Danzo's 13th. Obviously he's 5th in class at the moment. Dominator 3 just a little bit further back. Not doing too badly at the moment. Next Gen Herogram though leads the way. 6 minutes to go effectively in the session. Timmy just can't quite latch onto the back of him, but still Timmy's going to secure 2nd in the championship ahead of Bruce Lee Hardin. Bruce Lee having a pretty lonely race at the moment. Gibbs side by side with Rally Matt into turn 1. He's got the move done. Gibb re-overtaking Rally Matt from the lap before, same corner as what Rally Matt did to him earlier. So those 2 swap places for 4th. D Whitehouse is still 6th. D10 Piper a little bit further back than earlier. A little bit of respite for the Club 100 man in 6th place currently. D Whitehouse. D10 Piper just sat in 7th at the moment. Here's Jordan in 8th, the Boyd Transport racing driver. Obviously part of the Boyd Transport group is Jordan. You can see that livery that he's ran all season long. A lot of support from the team in the group at Boyd. D10 Piper, those caught the back of D Whitehouse. It's very difficult to say D10 and D Whitehouse in the same sentence, I won't lie. Nevertheless, we have to make do. Rally Matt is looking at a move. Is he around the outside? No, he's got a penalty, so he's going to try and clear it. D Whitehouse on the inside, defending from D10 Piper. D10 looking for a switch back. Rally Matt ran a little bit wide out of turn number 12 there. Just saw that. And here comes D10 Piper. He's going to be on the inside. Flash of the hazards from D Whitehouse. So is that a sign that he's going to let him through? And sure enough, he does. D Whitehouse, big clip of the curb at turn 1. And a nice switch back actually from D Whitehouse. He's going to be on the outside for turn 3. A lot harder to do in a front wheel drive car. And sure enough, D Whitehouse just slots back in. It's allowing JPH to close the gap. Jordan himself. Seamus still in 9th. He's just lost the back of that group after being massively involved. Seamus' race has gone the way it has. He qualified in 3rd. Down in 9th currently. There's 18.05. He's in 10th. Snav's had Gino Demmer behind him the whole race long. The Betty Swallocks driver still in 11th, as his number indicates on the side of the car there. Gino in 12th. Obviously misses the days of Hispania. There's Danzo. Danzo and Dominator have been very close during this race. I think Danzo's just going to fall short of getting himself into 2nd in the championship, but I still think 3rd place for him is a really good reward for this season. Cut back to the battle for 6th place because D10 Piper has got Jordan on the outside of him as they come across the line in the next second or so. I think Jordan's going to clear him before they get to turn 1, and sure enough, Jordan just goes defensive into turn 1, using the slipstream from D Whitehouse provided. Putting up a very stubborn defence is Dave in 6th. They're actually not too far away from Rally Matt and P Gibb, who are in 4th and 5th respectively at the moment. Haircramp still in 1st place. He's got a nice advantage to Timmy, who's had an excellent season. Timmy taking that 2nd place in the championship as it stands in Lobby 1. For those that have joined, you know, you might be a bit confused between the difference between Lobby 1 and Lobby 2. Normally we'd have 2 separate lobbies, but unfortunately not a number of drivers can get in for tonight's race. So Lobby 1 and Lobby 2 merged, which means we've had some cracking racing. But your top 3, all Lobby 1 drivers, as is Gibb, who's in 4th. Then there's Rally Matt, 5th currently in the race, but 1st in Lobby 2. And there's D Whitehouse, who's gone deep into turn 12. He's done it again, and JPH is going to clear him pretty comfortably, actually. So Jordan up to 6th. On a controller is Jordan, as is Timmy, who's in 2nd place for that matter. And D Whitehouse, though, straight back in the slipstream, looking towards the outside line at turn 1. Doesn't quite get there. Jordan runs deeper at 2. But good defensive driving from Jordan. Stays in 6th for now. 1 minute 42 left on the clock. Not long to go before the end of season 19 of NXTGEN's Scirocco League on Gran Turismo Sport. D10 Piper right there in the midst as well. Slow Seamus. He's in 9th. Oh, you can see D10 Piper having a little look at the inside of the Club 100 driver of D Whitehouse. Good effort so far. Seamus 8th in Lobby 1 currently. And there's 18.05. 2nd in Lobby 2, 10th overall. And Snav rounding out the podium places, but he's still got a 10th of a second penalty to try and clear. And Gino has not left him alone at all the way through this race. They'll have 1 more lap to go. Gino just gets his line wrong. Coming out of turn 9, flicks it through 10, and then through this very fast, flat right-hander at 11. He needs to be right there on Snav, right at the end of this race, because he's still got a chance of snatching 3rd in Lobby 2. Danzo on the inside, just defending from Dominator. Dominator can't quite get around the outside of him though, but this is the final lap. Haircram's got a penalty from somewhere, so Timmy, he'll know this. He's ran wide at turn 4. He hasn't picked up a penalty for it, a new personal best. Heracram, not often you see Next Gen Heracram with a penalty. It's a rarity. And 4/10, the momentum, he needs to try and clear that before the line. It's going to be very difficult. We're going to stick with this fight. I know there's a number of fights also happening elsewhere on circuit. It's very quickly actually just cut to Jordan to see where he is now. He's got away from Dave. So the battle for the race win's going to go to the line. Timmy is gaining momentum here. As he comes to turn 12 for the final time, Heracram has got half a second advantage. He needs to clear it before the line. Here we come then. Heracram, is he going to clear the penalty before he gets to the line? He's ghosting now. It's going to be very close on the line. Timmy's got it. Timmy takes the win on the line. He gets the victory for the final round of the season. Heracram takes second. Bruce Lee third. Gibb fourth, who slides it across the line. Rally Matt in fifth. A bunch of sliding going on. He wins Lobby 2. JPH sixth. D Whitehouse seventh. Slow Seamus eighth. D10 ninth. 1805, good podium for him in Lobby 2. He takes 10th. And Snav doesn't get the podium. It goes to Gino. He takes 11th place in the race, but third in Lobby 2. Snav 12th. Danzo 13th. And Dominator 14th. What a finish we had there. That was absolutely spectacular. But it's Timmy who has snatched it at the line. Absolutely wonderful performance from him. He takes the final race of the Scirocco League in season 19. Fantastic. Heracram, he'll be a bit annoyed with that, but second place, a wonderful season for the champion anyway. He will be ecstatic with how his season has gone. Third place going the way of Bruce Lee Harden, a very lonely race for Bruce in the end. Meanwhile, in terms of the fight for first in Lobby 2, Rally Matt got that victory in the end. He had a wonderful fight he did with P. Gibb 92. And second and third went the way of 1805 in Lobby 2, and Gino Demmer snatched it on the line from Snav. So he got third with Snav in fourth. Jordan's saying, can you save the replay, Jack? I can. And I will share it. So I'll just put Scirocco League. S19 Lago Maggiore. Oh, Lago East. I do it like that. Just put great race, because it was an absolutely spectacular race for everyone. But that is it from the Volkswagen Scirocco League for season 19 of Next Gen. It's been an absolutely wonderful result. 1805 saying, did you say I got a podium? Yes, you did. You did. You came second in Lobby 2, so good effort from you. Really nice way to end the season for yourself. In terms of the championship for the top 3 drivers, this is how it looks in the end after 10 rounds. Heracram takes the championship. Timmy DJG 94 will take second, and Bruce Lee will take third. That is in Lobby 1. In Lobby 2, Rally Matt takes the championship with 100, well, would be 200 points, incredibly, for Rally Matt, 201 including his pole position point. Snav will take second place on a little bit further back, and Danzo will take third in the championship in Lobby 2. What an absolutely brilliant race for the Sciroccos. We will be back with Next Gen Racing in season 20, which kicks off on the 15th of March. We have a couple of weeks break so that the drivers can have a little bit of refreshment, spend time with their families during this difficult situation we find ourselves in the United Kingdom, of course. But as well as that, we can get prepared with all the other leagues that will be coming on Gran Turismo Sport, Assetto Corsa, Competizione, and other leagues as well on PC as well. They'll be fantastic to watch, I'm fairly certain of it. But in terms of commentary for this season from myself, that is it. I hope you had a wonderful season watching the commentary. You can watch this back, of course, on YouTube. If you want to sign up for Next Gen, then do go on to the Facebook group. That's Next Gen Racing League's community. Additionally, on top of all that, you can follow us on Twitter, you can follow us on Instagram, you can follow us on Discord as well. Don't forget, we're on there too. And do just inquire to the general pages. We'll always get back in touch with you to see if you want to take part or even host a particular league in Next Gen. But nevertheless, thank you very much for watching. That has been season 19. I'm glad you all enjoyed it. Thank you to those that have just commented. I do appreciate it. I do enjoy my commentary on Thursday nights. But wherever you might be in the big wide world, see you in season 20.